Welcome back to Your Arts, and thanks so much for joining me. Okay, so let's finish off these first dart indicators. This is just a helpful way to help you learn your two dart finishes. Okay, so today I want to finish off what I call the first dart indicators on these golden 44 numbers, the essential two dart finishes. And there's only a few of them in the 80 range number and even only one in the 90 range. I'm including 100 and 110. Anything with a 0 on, you can throw at treble 20, so 70, 80, 90, 100 and 110. If it's got a 0, you can throw for treble 20. That's if you need the help, okay? But I wanted to show you what we've covered so far. And as you can see, so it's indicated by these pink numbers. And it's just that where the furthest right digit, this is all what I call a first dart indicator. It just indicates the treble on. So 62 is treble 12, 63 is treble 13, 64 is treble 14, okay, all the way up to 74 is treble 14, 75 is treble 15, okay. It's just a little helpful hand, okay. But as you can see, all the numbers in the 60 range are first dart indicators, okay. So they're really easy to remember. Most of the numbers in the 70 range are first dart indicators. There's just a few blanks, being 71, 73 and 77, okay. And in the 80 range, it starts from 85, and we just have a few. As you can see, we're going to go through them shortly. But one more thing I want to just highlight here after I clean this up, try and keep it tidy for everyone. So is the blue brackets. So if you see my videos, you'll know what they are. It's the miss rule. It's what happens when we miss the treble on, hit the big number. We're going to do that more times than hit the treble, right? But you need to know it. And in the 60 range, whenever you can see, it's always 50. Okay, there's patterns going through these numbers, and patterns are good. Helps to reinforce. Okay, but you know, for instance, why do we go for 66 treble 16 risking an odd number double 9? It's because if we miss treble 16, which we often do, hit big 16, you've got your rock star finish on bullseye, haven't you? They all leave 50, as you can see. In the 70 range, they all leave 60. So the miss rule is 60 for all of the 70 range, including number 80. Okay, so once you practice that and you've missed your treble and hit the big number, you know what's left. You're not having to work it out. And in the 80 range, it's always 70. Okay, so missing the treble, even in the 1 in the 90 range that we have, the sole first dart indicator in the 90 range, it would leave 70 if you miss your treble 20. Anyway, we're going to get onto this one right now. So let's see if we can race through these. So starting with 85. Okay, so it's always indicated by this furthest right digit. So 85 is treble 15, and it's for double 20. Now sometimes I've shared pictures with you, I call them links, but really my minimum expectation for anyone trying to learn to check out in darts is know your treble values. And most of us know what treble 20 is. It's 60 and treble 19 57, but do you instantly know that treble 15 is 45 and treble 14 is 42, treble 17 is 51? You need to be at that level, and it won't take long if you practice it. Just everything worth doing is worth practicing, isn't it? And in this case, you don't really need a picture, because if you know you're on a number of 85 and you've got treble, and we know the first indicator indicates that it's a treble 15, we know that's 45. You just don't take rocket scientists to realize you need 40 to make it 85, right? So that's where treble 15, and then we know, so treble 15, double 20. That's your score, okay? But another thing here, they do add up to 35. So 15 and 20. If you stood there and you know it's 15, and you know, and you know it's 35. Some people like that. I don't work it out like that, but you can do it that way. 15 and 20 is 35. All these numbers, 17 and 18, all the way going up, it's all 35. Okay, except for these two here. Anyway, so that's your first one. Now, of course, you need to know these individually. So you need to know that the finish of 85. Of course you do. But if you stood there and you're on a big 3-digit number, all right, and you've got 145. Now, I've mentioned before, if you throw in treble 20 on any 3 big digit number, just visualize 40. So I call it the rule of 40. Visualize 40 onto 45. You visualize 40 onto your last 2 digits, and it reveals 85. There we are. So you've just revealed your 2 dart finish from a big 3-digit number. You'd never need to learn 145. You need to learn to add 40 onto 45, and you reveal your 85. And now you know how to take it out. Okay, let's get on to the next number. So the next number is 87. So indicated by this furthest right digit is treble 17, if you need a helping hand. Okay, so treble 17 for double 18. Now, the way I do have a picture for this to begin with, thinking, how can I remember instantly without having to really do any crazy maths or anything? It's just that they run up in consecutive numbers, and that might sound silly. You might not need to use that, but some people out there will. Okay, help me. So treble 17, double 18. Obviously hitting the big 17 would leave 70. Okay, so that's it individually. But if you did have 1, 4, 7, for any snooker fans out there, but if you did have 1, 4, 7 and you stood there and you're throwing treble 20, you just visualize 40 onto 47, and that's where you get your 87 from. And so this is why you got to learn your 2 dart finishes, because you reveal them after you've taken off your treble from any big 3-digit number. Okay, let's continue. So on to the next one. So we've done 85, we've done 87. We're on to 89. So the furthest right digit 9, so it's treble 19, and the finish is double 16. Treble 19 for double 16. Now, how do you remember that it's treble 19, double 16? A little bit of practice. With all these, it can just be part fashion. Just learn, say it out loud, have people quiz you. I was struggling when I first started learning this. I think it helped me that double 16 wasn't one of my doubles, but it's one of the most popular doubles, and that helped me just remember it. Treble 19, double 16. But if you really need a little picture, if you need anything, and it seems really silly, but sometimes with this 9, turn that 9 upside down, you got 6, so double 16. Okay, that's if you're struggling. It might help someone, it might not. It helped me a little bit. But once you know it and it's instant recall, you don't need any silly little picture, you just know it, don't you? So treble 19, double 16. Missing the big 19 would leave 70 as in all with all these numbers today. So again, you need to know 89 as is, because you will be on 89 quite a lot. But if you have 149, you stood there, you go, well, what do I need to do? Do what I mentioned before, just use my rule of 40, add 40 onto 49, and it reveals 89. Okay, so I'm never learning 149, I'm learning to add my 40 onto 49. Okay, so you need to learn this. Is why you need to learn your 2 dart finishes. You don't need to learn these big 3-digit numbers. Okay, just add your formula on. Now, just incidentally, no one ever told me any of this. I found this by staring at a crib sheet for hours and hours and hours. I'm just sharing it with you. Okay, so we've covered this one, we've covered this one, and we've covered this one. So we've covered the numbers in the 80 range. There's only 3 numbers that start from the mid 80s, so 85, and then every other number, 87 and 89. And we're covering the one what's in the 90 range. So I've said before, if it's a 0, you can throw it treble 20. That's if you need the help here. Treble 20 for double 15. Okay, but if you know your treble values, treble 20 is 60. We're on 90 here, right? So you know you need 30 more to make it 90, so it's double 15. So you don't need any picture here. And you won't need for most of these, a little bit of practice and you're there. Okay, but of course, if you're on 150 and you throw in treble 20, just put 40 onto the last 2 digits, it reveals 90, doesn't it? So that's why we need to know it, because when we're on a big finish like 150, yeah, you can go 2 treble 19s, and that's for another day. But you just put 40 under 50, it reveals 90. So it's treble 20, double 15. That's 150. Okay, but you're still having to learn your 2 dart finish of 90. That's the most important part here. Okay, so on to the final 2 numbers of the day, 100, and because it's got 0 on it, we know we're throwing at treble 20. But you don't need any help here. Treble 20, double 20, just know your treble values, and your double values, it's really easy to see. But of course, if you were stood there and you've got 160 outshot, this is why we need to learn 100, even though it's an easy one of the easy ones. Let's say nothing's easy really when you're starting out, but essentially you're going to add my rule of 40. So we throw in treble 20, we add 40 onto the last 2 digits. 40 onto 60 is 100. There we are, and just revealed your 100, and now you've gone away diligently and you've learned these inside out. But like I say, 100 is one of the easy ones, as is this 110. It's just treble 20. So treble 20 for bullseye. Okay, there you go. But of course, if you've got, it's literally, apologies for the breaks, I keep coughing at the moment. Okay, so this is where represents number 110 represents the big fish. Okay, you stood there. 170. Of course, you learn your 110, but see how you're just revealing 110 here. Okay, that's what the big fish is. Do my formula, put the 40 onto the last two digits, 40 onto 70 is 110. So it's treble 20 bull, isn't it? That's what the big fish is, 170. But that's why you need to go away and instantly know what number 110 is. Okay, you can take that out with 2 darts. And that kind of finishes the 2 dart finishes and the first dart indicators. So this is just a quick slide showing you of representations what I mentioned. I actually didn't know if I mentioned that they add up to 35. So 15 and 20, 17 and 18, 19 and 16, 20 and 15. Not these two, of course, but they add up to 35 if that helps anyone. Okay, throw everything at the wall, see what sticks, and then just kind of recap like the numbers help you and numbers run up consecutively. Things like that, what I mentioned in that last video. And even this silly one of 89, if you stuck that, it's double 16, turn that 9 upside down. Okay, turn that 9 upside down to 6 and you got double 16. Really silly ways, but if it helps you stick and give you instant recall, that's all what matters. Okay, so as I've done with the other numbers, I'm going to give you any alternate ways to take out these numbers, and there's no alternate way for 87 or 89 that I know of. I would always go the way I've just taught you. But for 85, yes, we covered treble 15, double 20. But another really good one is treble 19. You're using your second most common treble, okay? Treble 19. Sorry, these colours aren't that good today for some reason. Treble 19. For double 14, okay? The alternate finishes are the ones in the brackets, okay? Treble 19 for double 14. I quite like double 14. I don't mind this way. I will still probably go treble 15 for tops just because that's what I learned and I do like tops. It's my strong double. Missing the treble 19 hit, the big 19 would leave 66, so the miss rule is still relevant on this. Okay, I'm missing that treble 19 hit, the big 19. Okay, let's do the next number. So like I said, 87, 88, 88, I would always go that one we had taught you, but 90, we have gone treble 20, double 15, of course. But treble 18 for double 18 is a very good way to take out 90. Treble 18 for double 18, hitting the big 18 would leave 72. Okay, always get your miss rule learned. And because it goes to 72, 72 is a first dart indicator. So 72 would be treble 12 for back to your double 18. Okay. But that helps if you know them instantly, okay, and fluently like I do. I want you all to get there. I'm going to do my best to make you get there. I'll help you get there. Any problems, let me know. But those covers they're the numbers so far. And we've covered all the golden 44, the first dart indicators. Okay, so that covers all the first dart indicators, which is just a little over half of the 44, the golden 44, the essential 2 dart finishes. We get into the rest of the numbers and there's time. Let's have a little break from it. Next time I'm going to recap how you can work out how to finish on double 16s and double 18s. We'll also cover double 14s, 12s, 8s and 4s at some point as well. Thanks so much for watching. Take care for now.